Our society has countless images, ideas, and stereotypes about change agents, people who help an organization transform by improving business process and interpersonal interactions. Whether influencing fashion, business, art, entertainment, science, politics, or law, these change agents have and continue to positively impact today's society on so many levels. And today, we are proud to share the story of these business owners, coaches, innovators, and thought leaders from various industries who are eager to educate, inspire, and motivate you. This is Our Voices on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to Our Voices, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation. My name is Natasha Nurse. I'm the owner and co-founder of Dressing Room 8, co-host of Woke and Free, and the lifestyle editor of Plus Model magazine. And this show is focused on highlighting the amazing work of powerful change agents who have a great message to share with the world. Today, I'm really excited to be speaking with a woman that I call family, someone that I know and love so much. And who am I talking about? I'm talking about author Ginger Gregory. And we are going to be talking about how to write your own book today. So who is Ginger? She craves crafting stories. Consider her an adventurous storyteller and poet with a passion for people. She is a driving enthusiast who finds the open road exhilarating. She also teaches dance class that exhilarate her phenomenal students. Ginger is also a graduate from Oral Roberts University in 2013 with a writing degree, concentrations in art, literature, and a Spanish minor, with the privilege of being honed by some of the best and world-renowned accredited and award-winning professors and writers who helped her blossom into the amazing and adventurous writer that she is today. She's the author of The Adventures of Sylvie Sedan and has written over 60 video game review and preview articles for Digital Gaming Magazine. And she's also edited the manuscript for an entire 365-day devotional book and is currently editing more manuscripts. So without further ado, Ginger, how are you?
Hello. I am doing wonderfully. I'm so excited. So excited to be here to just share some insights that I have learned about writing and being an author and this amazing journey. So, yeah, very excited.
I love it. Well, yes, with that, let's just share with everyone if you could kind of talk about what made you want to be an author.
Ooh, okay. So that's definitely a popular question that many people have for me. So, yes, let's definitely answer that. So what made me want to be an author? Well, what made me want to be an author, I guess it really started in school with some seeds that were planted inside of me by teachers. They would tell me certain things about my writing that were really inspiring. So I had a sixth grade teacher, for example, who told me, and my mom actually in a parent-teacher conference, I wish I could write like her. And then in 8th grade, I had a teacher tell me that she should get published. My English literature teacher said that. And so these types of comments would just keep coming up whenever I would turn in writing assignments or have these parent-teacher conferences or anything similar. And really, I still didn't want to be a writer at that time, though. I understood that there was something special about writing with me when pen and paper met my hands. I knew something special was happening here, but for some reason I didn't have that motivation or I guess inspiration to be a writer. That really didn't come until high school, and really what happened was it just literally I just had this epiphany, and I recognized that I have a gift that really does need to be nurtured, because the impact that it could have if I nurture this gift would be so much greater than myself. And I was like, I realized it was something I love to do. And when I thought about any other career path, nothing else seemed to even become close in comparison to the joy that writing would bring to me and bring to others, hopefully. So that's really what made me want to be a writer.
I love it. Okay. And can you share for everyone what is The Adventures of Sylvie Sedan all about?
Oh, of course, yes. So The Adventures of Sylvie Sedan. The Adventures of Sylvie Sedan is a fiction fantasy novel. It is a novel that can appeal to many different audiences. I say that my work speaks to all generations, and with Sylvie Sedan, it certainly does. It's a fiction fantasy story about overcoming obstacles on and off the road. So what happens is it's very different. I don't think there's anything else like it where you have two dual perspectives, car and human, going back and forth in the same novel. And and Sylvie Sedan is actually one of the main characters. So she literally is telling half the story. She will share part of the story maybe for one chapter or part of a chapter and then switch off with the human character. But really what it shows is that the struggles that we go through on the road really do parallel what we go through off the road. So when it comes to things like passing the drive test or dealing with road rage, just the everyday adventures that we face on the road, what we take away from that, literally when you read Sylvie Sedan, it changes your perspective of how much we can learn from driving and how we can really learn to deal with situations we face that's off the road, any kind of struggle that you face. And it really is a very fun tale. So like the interesting thing is like even while it's inspiring and teaching, it really doesn't feel like that. It feels inspiring, yes, but it doesn't feel like it's teaching. It just feels like a fun adventure that it feels like you're getting into your car and you're just going on an adventure that you'll never forget.
I love it because, personally for me, I love to drive. I've driven to Canada, to and from by myself. And there's something very freeing about like getting in your car and like singing terribly to music that you absolutely love. And it's just, it's you and your car on the road. I mean, it's really amazing. So would you say this is based off of like the storyline is kind of based on some of the experiences you have had in your life?
Yeah, I would say so, actually. I drew heavily from personal experience, and I definitely would not call it an autobiography because it's definitely fiction. A lot of the events and scenes are made up, but I did draw heavily from personal experience and also experience of others, too, somewhat, because I knew that would be helpful, too, just to kind of, as a writer, you want to really use your experiences and the experiences that others share with you to make the best possible work, because it helps other people to connect. The more insights you can kind of incorporate into the overall book. So yes, definitely.
And would you say that what's the most important lesson that you've learned while being on the road?
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, so the most important lesson I've learned while being on the road is just to literally just learning how to let go and just stay the course. Because it's so easy to get sidetracked when, let's say, someone maybe like if they cut you off or if they're just going ridiculously slow in the left lane and you happen to be in the left lane and you just want to get so upset. But it's just like literally just learn to just, stay the course. Don't let other people dictate your joy on the road. Don't let them take that away just because they're doing something that is ridiculous, but something that doesn't necessarily involve you. Obviously, when it comes to like certain things, like if it's a safety thing and you need to avoid them, okay. But I'm talking about like those little the little things, the nuisances that we really let get to us.
Absolutely.
I feel like stay the course.
Absolutely. You are listening to Our Voices on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Natasha Nurse, and my guest today is author Ginger Gregory. I completely agree with you, Ginger. I think that there's so much power from like letting go and like letting flow and just like letting all the cars do what they need to do while you do your thing. I guess for me, I would say my biggest lesson that I've learned so far, and I was late to the game of driving. I'm born and raised in Manhattan, so most people don't need to drive in the city. I mean, you can, but if you're gangster like that. But for me, I didn't start until I was 23 actually, and I was terrified of the highway, right? And so it was very interesting learning how to overcome that fear. But I would say my greatest lesson is just to like be confident and just like know that you can get through any situation, right? So like even if someone looks like they're about to hit you, like be strategic, like be on the guard, anticipate everything and anything, and don't be afraid to like honk and tell someone, hey, you're coming over, and I'm that kind of driver. But we digress. I would like to swing things back a little bit to writing. So what would you say are some of the common struggles, like for someone like yourself, that you deal with as a writer?
Oh, okay. Well, time management. Definitely. That's a huge one, because it's so easy to say that I want to write a book, but then when it comes down to it, this is a very busy society we live in today. We all know it. So literally, you have to literally schedule out time, I think, to really get work done, to get a book done, because just saying it like I'm going to write a book and then saying I hope I have time today, it's not going to happen, and it's not, and even if it does, it's not going to be something that's consistent. So that's something that I've learned, and honestly, like it really is. And before I realized that, it was frustrating, because I knew that I wanted to, like if I work on a project, I know I want to get this done, but it's like I'm not really moving along very quickly, or I'm not moving along at least at a steady pace. So I think, scheduling a realistic timeline that works will be one of the best things you can possibly do. So that's definitely one thing. And another thing, too, is just overcoming the writer's block, just kind of understanding that I think the battle really is definitely mental, mostly with writer's block, because there's some times where I think I've heard it said before that inspiration is for amateurs. The rest of us just show up and get to work. And I honestly, there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, inspiration is wonderful. You do need it, but there are certain times where you really just need to press through, because the rough draft, just having something on paper is always better than a blank page. So even if it feels like it's not right, or it's going to need some tweaking, it's still better to just press through those tough times where it seems like the words aren't quite flowing, because eventually they're going to start flowing, like the more you keep at it and the more you figure out your scheduling. So
okay. So with writer's block, you advise for people to like literally just look at themselves in the mirror and be like, get it together, right? Like just
yes, I really do, and I'm all about like it's okay to take, and taking a break sometimes too is fine. Like if you feel like if it's really that bad, like take a break, absolutely. But but honestly, a lot of it really is just pressing through mentally and saying, okay, I've got this. It's confidence. It's going right back to driving. I've got this. You can do it.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, as an author, right, also a creative person, how do you handle the naysayers, right? People, because you did mention how people were very supportive for you, but I imagine that you have heard people say, oh, being an author, right, that's lofty, or, no one can really make money off of that. How does someone like yourself deal with like the naysayers, the negative talk?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, definitely. That's huge, because yes, when you make a decision to pursue a creative career like writing, there are definitely people who say that's not practical, that you need a 9-to-5, that there's no way that this is going to be something that will work. And I've heard all of those before, and literally what I do is, I guess what I'd have to really do is recognize that I'm the only Ginger Gregory in this world. And for every person is unique. You're the only Natasha Nurse in this world. And I feel a responsibility to nurture our talents and our gifts so that we can really be the best people we can while we're here. And I feel like with me, it's writing. And so because nobody else can be Ginger Gregory and nobody else has the exact giftings, like I can use it in the exact way, although it may be similar, then they can't tell me, they have no way of telling me whether or not I'm going to succeed, because they don't have the same exact giftings and talents. They have their own. So it's up to them to believe in themselves. I think a lot of times I think it's it is the people who maybe have given up on a dream, or are just, I don't know, just don't see their, I feel like a lot of times in society, we are scared to pursue our dreams. So I think it's that overall fear, I think, that sometimes comes out with people just thinking like you can't follow a dream and it actually be real, but you really can. You really can. So,
Absolutely.
So that's what I have to say to them.
Very cool. You are listening to Our Voices. My name is Natasha Nurse. More with guest author Ginger Gregory next on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.